Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto here with the Wasteland Reviewer YouTube channel, and this is my first video that's not just going to be a straight up movie review. So I've been looking forward to doing this review for a while. I finally got to see all the last big films of 2016. I got to see Lion earlier today. So that was my last one that I wanted to get out before I got to do my top 10 of 2016 list. Now, there's going to be some films that match up with the Academy and like the Golden Globes and stuff like that. And there's going to be some films that are on here like a lot of other top 10 lists, but this is from my perspective and my experiences with film and how I felt these films were made. This is the top 10 films that I think were the best 10 films of 2016. And you may agree, disagree, but as always, what I love about film is it's very subjective, and you can have these conversations with people, and I enjoy having these conversations with people. So we're going to get started with my number 10, which is 20th Century Women. So I got to see this 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't expecting to really love this film. I was like, okay, this is one of the top films. I know that there's some acting and writing buzz around this film as potentially for award season with Annette Bening and then Mike Mills with his script. And I love this film. I connected really well with this film and really enjoyed the themes that it just went through of coming of age and growing up with a single mom and having all these different influences and you trying to become yourself based off of the influences of people that are part of your life. And the music was cool. It felt straight out of the 70s, which I'm a huge fan of the 70s. So there's actually going to be another film on here that's big on that. And it felt the 5 actors that made up the main cast were fantastic. They were all interesting characters. I really enjoyed watching them. And I have a very large movie collection, and I know I'm going to be getting all 10 of these films that are on this list. And well, some of them I already have since they've been out for a while, but I really highly suggest going out and seeing 20th Century Women. It didn't get a whole lot of buzz but at the box office, but if it's still playing around you, go out and see this. It's a fantastic film. Now, number 9 is Hacksaw Ridge. I'm a huge fan of Mel Gibson. Might not be the most commonplace feeling in terms of people that love film. And the thing is, no matter the kind of person that people are, you can't take away from them the talent that they have in their profession or things that they do. No matter what you think of Mel Gibson as a person, he's a fantastic actor, fantastic director, and he really brought it on Hacksaw Ridge. This movie affected me on a big way, and I was floored by this film. The first half of emotional intensity and really seeing somebody fight for what they believe in. Andrew Garfield was a fantastic central performance in this film. That second half, though, I have not seen such great action directing in many films as of late, and it's going right up there with my favorite film of 2015, Mad Max Fury Road, in terms of this is amazing action on screen. Some of the shots were breathtaking, and that's something I really appreciate as cinematography in film, and boy does this film blow it away. And there may be scenes that feel really showy, might take a little bit out of the film in terms of realism, but once you hit that second half, this movie does not let up. And it puts Saving Private Ryan to shame in terms of gritty violence and gore in terms of a war movie. If you haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge, please see Hacksaw Ridge. And I really think that this is Mel Gibson's opportunity to really get back into film. Now, number 8, The Nice Guys. I absolutely loved this film, and barely anyone went to go see it, and that's really disappointing. This came out, I think, way back in April of last year, and Shane Black is amazing. I'm a huge fan of Lethal Weapon, as I mentioned with Mel Gibson, who was big in those films. Shane Black's writing is so amazing, so crisp, so funny, such just like bluntly violent when it needs to be, and like sloppy violent. It's not like glorifying of violence. It's like a scene where Ryan Gosling punches his hand through a window to unlock the door and cuts his wrist open and he's just bleeding out. It's like this. Some of the stuff in that film is just so amazing, and Ryan Gosling is getting all this buzz for La La Land. Was even better in Nice Guys. Russell Crowe was fantastic as well. They were two fantastic leading men carrying this movie, along with the young woman playing Ryan Gosling's daughter, who stole this film from them. And overall, it's hilarious, it's fun, it's period. I love the 70s, as I mentioned, talking about 20th century women, and this captures it so fantastically. Wonderful film. Please check out The Nice Guys. Give it some love, because I want to see more of The Nice Guys. Now, this is definitely a film that's not landing on any awards in terms of best pictures or anything like that, but Captain America Civil War, Marvel, oh, you surprise me every time. I am a huge Marvel fan, huge fan of superhero movies, and this is by far the best superhero film of 2016 in my opinion. Sorry, Deadpool, but Civil War pushes the limits of what we know about these characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And when you think that airport scene, which runs like 17 minutes of just amazing action, is enough, wait till you get that third act action sequence that's just so full of real emotion. And you very rarely get to see a superhero film hit you so hard with that kind of emotional impact. And I've spent all this time since 2008. I saw the first film, my first film that I saw in the cinematic universe was The Incredible Hulk in theaters. But ever since then, I've been hooked on these films and these characters, and Captain America is my favorite Avenger. And this was truly, I know a lot of people saying this is Avengers 2.5. This was his film, this was his journey, and all the Avengers were along for the ride. Introductions of Spider-Man and Black Panther were just amazing. I love this film, and I can watch Civil War all the time. It is personally my favorite. It's really up there with my top 3 favorite superhero films of all time, along with X-Men Days of Future Past and The Dark Knight Rises. I just love Civil War. I wish that someday the Academy might give superhero films some more credit, but for now, I'll give them credit, if my opinion means anything. Now, next, Zootopia, at number 6. I was so surprised about this movie. So surprised, and it upsets me so much that the Academy released their nominees for Best Picture this year and not a single animated film made it. This was one of the best years of animation in a long time, and they played so safe and didn't take a chance on any of these animated films that are so amazing, like Moana and Zootopia. Disney Animation knocking it out of the park. This movie takes chances. If they took real racial tensions and put it in a kids movie in such a smart way, and the fact that this didn't get the original screenplay nomination at the Academy Awards shocks me. Love La La Land, I'm going to get to that in a second, but its script was not its strength. Something like this should have been recognized. And just like Jason Bateman, such a big standout in this film. And it was, I love Zootopia. This came out way back March last year, and one of the best films that Disney's ever made. And like that's going up there with Lion King and Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite animated film of all time, and Zootopia deserves to be up there in that conversation. And Try Anything, if you don't have that song stuck in your head, watching this video will get it stuck in your head again. It's just a fantastic film. It's unpredictable, sends you on such a great adventure, really taking some deep looks into certain themes that you wouldn't expect out of a film like this. I absolutely loved Zootopia. Now getting into my top 5. With now my number 1 favorite animated film of 2016 was Kubo and the Two String. I am a huge fan of Leica Animation. They're amazing. They had me, Coraline, and Paranorman, the Box Trolls, and this film was amazing. I'm a huge fan of fantasy, and this film built such a wonderful world that's so fantastic. Some of the storytelling elements, I would have watched a whole entire movie of this kid using those origami things, telling such amazingly cool stories with just origami. Those little things are so fantastic. This looks so beautiful, and the fact that this got a VFX Oscar nomination makes me so happy. Stop motion is so amazing, and I appreciate it so much, and this was so great. And I can't wait for the next Leica film to come out. Charlize Theron and Matthew McConaughey, who I was completely expecting to just be a complete goofball and take me out of this movie. So, like, please don't be a Jar Jar Binks. But he was funny, and it fit so well, and all the performances in this film were fantastic. Rooney Mara, some props, being really, really creepy in this movie. Great action, great emotions, great themes, great story, fantastic. Really hope it wins Best Animated Feature this year at the Academy Awards. Now, number 4. This movie's not getting a whole lot of praise, and it kind of disappoints me, and this is Patriots Day. Peter Berg is really finding his niche in gritty, realistic stories, telling true stories that a lot of people don't really know all the details about. Like, this Boston massacre at the marathon was terrible, and boy, is this an emotional film. I got really, really emotional towards the end of this film, and just seeing how all these people's lives were affected, and it does such a great job of making you connect with every single character. So when something happens, it really truly affects you. And Mark Wahlberg, this is up there with The Departed, with some of his best work. So happy to see him doing such a great job here in Patriots Day. Truly emotional. John Goodman, Kevin Bacon, J.K. Simmons really filling out this cast. And the terrorists in this film were real people. They felt like real people. Like, terrorist having an argument with his wife about the milk. Stuff like that. It felt so real. And just the interactions between the two men who did this, and their motivations, and everything felt so gritty and realistic. And the action, you sir, Peter Berg, know how to shoot some realistic action, and this was exciting, exhilarating, emotional, did a fantastic job. Now I'm getting into the nitty gritty of my top 3. La La Land. I'm a huge fan of musicals, actually, and I've grown up listening to Disney musicals, stuff like that. Love Mary Poppins, love Sound of Music, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I grew up watching all of them, and this feels like a golden age musical. And I was floored through this whole entire film until I wanted to get up and dance, because I wanted to get up and dance during this whole entire movie. I felt everything in terms of their relationship between Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. They were both amazing. Loved their relationship and what built. The music in this was fantastic. It's 14 Oscar noms. For the most part, all of them are well deserved. I wish that Moana was getting some more song nominations, but the music in this was fantastic. I loved it from start to finish, and I bought into everything. And the endings of films are so hard to hit right and make a great conclusion. Some of the big films that have been nominated for Best Picture really hurt to me because of their endings, like A Manchester by the Sea. This film nailed its ending, and I thought that the themes that it hit with the ending of what it had fit so well and made so much sense, and I loved it. Please go out and see La La Land and keep racking up its box office as it passed the $100 million mark. It's in the top 25 of the year in terms of box office now, and it's still making a bunch of money. Number 2, when I saw this film back in August, I'm like, nothing is going to beat this for Best Picture. I'll get to what beat it for Best Picture in terms of my opinion, but Hell or High Water. I'm a huge fan of Westerns, and this film is a perfect neo-Western, New Age Western. This feels amazing. I haven't felt this way about neo-Western since I watched No Country for Old Men. Coen Brothers are my favorite directors. What Taylor Sheridan did and David Mackenzie did with this film, wow, loved it. This film gave it a resounding A plus when I saw it. Slow burning, never once felt boring to me. Was perfect. Four main performances. Chris Pine, never been better. Ben Foster, real standout, really carried his weight, and he deserves more recognition as an actor. My man, Jeff Bridges, fantastic in this film and deserves that Best Supporting Actor nomination that he has at the Academy Awards. And Gil Montgomery, his partner, the other Texas Ranger, their chemistry was amazing. Chris Pine and Ben Foster's chemistry was amazing. Loved the story. I felt so, when you feel so engrossed in a world that a film builds and you can escape into it and feel, I wanted to be like, this is a really cool, felt like World of Outlaws, and felt so amazing. The humor was fantastic and on point. The action, the tension, everything. And the ending to this film was amazing. Cinematography, gorgeous. Bullcrap. This didn't get a cinematography nomination. I'm gonna stop gushing about Hell or High Water to talk about my number one film of 2016, and that was Silence. This film went so far under the radar, which I can't believe, but it was probably because they released it, the trailer, a month and a half before the film released. Oh, I don't know what they were doing. Martin Scorsese, you're a genius. This film was amazing. I never once felt bored. 2 hours and 41 minutes, sir. That is impressive. And this film was gorgeous. This doesn't win cinematography. I'm going to be flabbergasted. For real, though. Because this was beautiful. Told such an amazing story. And all the acting, everyone from the smallest roles to Andrew Garfield were fantastic. The long waits for like a Liam Neeson in this film were so worth it. And the way this handled themes of faith and, do you need to express your faith? Can it be something that you hold inside and hold close to you? Were so well explored in this film without even having to really like hammer it over your head with so much exposition. Just the use of sound, the use of silence was amazing. If you are, this film's not for everyone. I'm gonna say that. If you're a huge fan of film and you haven't seen this, go out and see this film. This was amazing. And I'm gonna cut off my gushing about all these films. Love films so much. 2016, there's a lot of disappointing films in 2016 in terms of big blockbusters, but there were some films that surprised the hell out of me. And I loved the films of 2016, these 10 films, and many more. I saw over 80 films in 2016, and I was in love with many of them. And this short list doesn't do all of them justice. There's a few that I really wish would have made my top 10 and I would have talked about in this video. But go back and watch some of my reviews if you want to hear my opinions on some of the other films I saw this year. And thank you all for tuning in, all of my subscribers and all my viewers.